And then we will talk about the inner teachings. And of course, as usual, it's not, it's always good to have a practice or an application. I mean, that's how we learn. All right. So shall we? Let's do an invocation. Just turn your hands outwards. Imagine the entire planet Earth surrounded with triangles of light. So on the North Pole, on the top of the Earth, there's a big triangle of light. And then, yes, going down to the equator, down to the south, there are many, many triangles. And then again, down south, you have a big triangle at the bottom part of the Earth. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of all human beings. Let light descend on earth. Please say, let light descend on earth. Now imagine light descending to the top of the earth, well, the North Pole, and then it circulates in a clockwise direction, going down to the equator, down slowly to the south. How you may chant. Oh, and then from the south, the light energy rises back up to the north. Now beware, the energy of light goes to what is known as the pineal gland of all people on earth, goes deep inside to a point of light. This point of light has a dark blue glow, and from this point of light, the energy of divine light spreads to the mental energy field of all people worldwide, without any exception. May the minds of all people be illuminated. So be it. So be it. So be it. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of all human beings. Let love descend on earth. May the great teacher of love, may the world teacher, whom the Christians call the Lord Christ, the Hindus call the Lord Krishna or the next avatar, the Buddhists call the Maitreya. May this great teacher, together with the hierarchy of the spiritual teachers, reappear on earth. Beware of the descent of divine love to the top of the earth, spiraling clockwise down, down, down to the equator, down to the south, from the south rising back up to the north. Be aware that from the triangles of light, the energy descends to a point of light in the solar plexus chakra of all people on earth. That point of light has a pink glow. It's connected to love, and it goes to the back heart, and from the front heart, it spreads to what you call the astral body of all people, without any exception. May their hearts be blessed with divine love. Think of the whole earth and the energy of divine love going to the back heart chakras of all people and spreading throughout the earth. So be it. From the center, where the will of God is known, this is, they call Shambhala. Let divine purpose guide the little wills of all human beings, the purpose which the masters know and serve. Now be aware of the energy of divine purpose, divine plan, divine will, descending to the earth, spiraling down, 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 down to the south, spiraling up back to the north. Om. Be the will to serve, the will to do good. Descending down to the crown chakras of all people, then it goes to the Ajna chakra or the Ashna in between the eyebrows. And then it goes to the heart chakra. There's a small particle of light there with a red glow or red light. Be aware the energy is spreading to the etheric on the physical body of all people worldwide. May goodwill, right human relations manifest on earth. So be it. From the center, which we call humanity, let the plan of love and light work out. May it seal the door where evil dwells. The tendency to cruelty, to hatred, to violence, may these energies be dissipated with the combined energies of divine love and divine light. Be aware of all the triangles absorbing this dual energy of love and light from the north down to the south, from the south up to the north. Om. Let divine light, divine love, and divine power restore, anchor, manifest the divine plan on earth. So be it. Om. 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 So be it. We humbly invoke the blessings of the Supreme Being, the cosmic deity, the solar deity, the planetary deity. Thank you for the blessings of divine protection, divine guidance and help, divine love and mercy, and clear understanding, knowledge, humility, intuitive perception. We're grateful for the teachings. To all the great ones, especially the world teacher, whom the Christians call the Lord Christ. We're grateful for the teachings on the angels. We're grateful to all the great spiritual masters in all traditions. We're grateful. The great saints of all religions, traditions, we're grateful. The spiritual helpers, mentors, guides, to Master Choa, his teacher, Mahaguru Jimeling, to the other teacher, Miguel Nator, and his teacher, the Holy Master Gamaliel, we're grateful. To the Master Duwalko and his teacher, the Chohan Kuthumi, we're grateful in full faith. To the hierarchy of the angelic beings, the archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, thank you for surrounding us with your light, your love, your protection, for helping us understand in full faith. All right, raise your hands like this at the level of your heart. You say to the angelic beings, the hierarchy of archangels, holy angels, the devas, the angels around us, much blessings of love, lots and lots of love, 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 love to all of you. Thank you for your patience in full faith. All right, open your eyes. So, well, welcome to this session. I actually was terrified when I said yes to this lecture because the topic is so vast. It usually requires many weeks of study. All right, so we will blend some experiences with esoteric teachings or studies. In, I believe it was 1989, somewhere there, 1988, 1989, I was meditating with Master Cha, and then I learned pranic healing, by the way, 80, 87, 88. So one of my assignments was actually to work on my family. Master Cho said, before you heal other people, make sure you test the techniques on your family. So my family members were my guinea pigs. I had to test the technique on them. For example, my sister had a migraine from childhood. I tested the pranic healing on her. In one session, somehow she got healed or cured. I was so impressed. And my father, who was so skeptical about the whole thing, I think he saw what happened. So one day he asked me, "Hey, Hector, can you do that thing on my knee?" I did healing for his knee, and somehow the knee, got, at least there was relief. Now, I frequented the healing center of Master Choa from Monday to Saturday, from 3 to 7 in the evenings. And one day, I had the courage to ask Master Choa if I could borrow his pranic healing book. I borrowed a copy of his book. Master, may I please borrow? And he generously let me take. When I reached home, I heard my mother crying in the kitchen. So when I went, I don't remember which hand anymore. It's in the book, testimonial. And one of her hands was burnt. She accidentally poured boiling oil on her hand. I think the screw of the pan was loose. So when she poured it on the container, it spilled on her hand. And the hand looked really swollen, like it looked double the size. It was really fat. And it looked a little bit crispy, shiny. I was like, wow. And she was putting aloe vera and running cold water. I said, Mom, you're supposed to, I think, go to the doctor. She said, no, but the doctor is, maybe we could try pranic healing. Right now, she was skeptical because the early cases I practiced on her were simple things like headache, or maybe a sprained ankle, very simple cases. This time the injury was a bit severe. So anyway, I look at by the way, the original book was The Ancient Science and Art of Pranic Healing. I don't know if some of you had seen this. The cover looked like, actually the cover is that of a healing angel, right? So the illustration, well, to be honest, I did not like too much the illustration because the crown chakra of the angel looked like the angel had horns. So when I look at it, it's like, are those horns coming out of the head of the angel? But actually, they're the petals of the crown rising up. So anyway, I followed this book contained basic pranic healing techniques and advanced pranic healing, plus seed ideas for the future development. And I thought I followed the protocol for the healing of fresh burns. So I followed it. Maybe the whole thing took me about an hour. But the amazing thing was at the end of the treatment, her hand, at least in size and appearance, looked normal, and maybe 95, 98% healed. She could barely feel pain. So the next day, we did more treatment because I think there were few red spots still. And then we had to heal her eyes because she was crying so much. Anyway, she went to school that day. She administered back to Master Cha. So I was proud. Master, I had this experience last night. I said, oh, very good. It's good that you experiment. He said, that's what I like. You're not supposed to believe on things blindly. So um, he was very the feedback. Then he asked me, what colors did you use? Master, I use green and red. He's talking about the prana. And he said, what? Green and red, Master. So he said, you're supposed to use green and blue for fresh burns because if you put red, the inflammation would increase. I said, but Master, it worked. He said, no, something must have happened. So he turned to Mike, his good friend Mike. Mike is the clairvoyant. He monitored many of the experiments of Master Cho. So Mike closed his eyes, his eyelids started to flutter like this. And he started to laugh. Ah. And Master Cho asked, what did you see, Mike? He was truly, at least I was honest, he was really using green and red energy or color pranas. But Mike said, but because he did not really know what he was doing, I mean, can you imagine? I was using advanced pranic healing technique. I had not even done basic pranic healing course. I just read the book. So he said, but because he didn't know what he was doing, he was praying. Because in the book, there's a prayer. And the prayer involves praying to the healing angels. All right, so Mike said he did not know what he was doing. He was afraid, so he prayed. And Mike said, a healing angel appeared. All right, and the red prana into blue. It was like that. So I was a bit surprised. I mean, I did not feel or sense or see an angelic presence, but Mike saw it. So I thought, what is this? There are angels? I mean, when I was in theology, yeah, the church talked about the angels, but really they exist, even in healing. So that was the beginning of my experience with the so-called, in India they're called devas or angels. Devas means the shining ones. Right? Is this working? You have to move away. All right. So, um, by the way, because of that, I always pray during every healing session because I realized that, well, number one, you can make mistakes, right? And if you're prayerful, apparently you have a safety net to catch you if you're prayerful. Master Cho said, it's good you know how to pray, right? But he said, but make sure you know what you're doing. You better study. So he actually sponsored me to learn pranic healing. I made several mistakes in the early years. That was my first mistake. All right, so it is like this. Wait, huh? Are we supposed to wait for you guys? Huh?
No, you keep on.
Okay.
Sorry.
So in the art of healing, right, according to Master Cho, sometimes when the healer is exhausted, it means your physical body, your energy body, your mental, emotional energy fields are exhausted. He said you can actually ask for the help of a healing angel who will be assigned to the patient and who will then perform healing for the patient. But he's the number of the angel which you will attract depends also on the skill that you develop. So that's why he said, if you want to attract a very powerful, highly developed angel, you yourself, and you don't develop yourself, he said, you will not really evolve. And the devas, the angels, are not really attracted to that. Are you with me? So you have to think about that. They do not encourage us to be lazy. That's a very important point or factor. So you want to attract a powerful, cultivate your healing skills. Is it clear? Because one of the main uh, motivations of the angelic realm or kingdom is actually to aid in the evolution of the human race. Is it clear? No? Okay, so um, what you can do is this. Are all of you pranic healers? No? Yes? No? No? Okay, this presents some. Okay, let's feel the energy on your hand. Right, so just press the center of your palms. Okay, now put your hands like this. Okay, be aware of your fingertips and the center of your palms. If you can, slightly open your armpits. I cannot do that because the mic will drop it. All right, now be aware of your fingertips and your palms. Now slowly inhale, slowly exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, that's about 3 breathing cycles. Now slowly pull your hands apart while maintaining awareness on your fingertips and your palms. Slowly push without touching. Slowly pull and push. Slowly pull and push. Again. So be aware of the sensations on your hands or your palms. Now, slowly move your hands like this. Maintain the awareness on your palms and your fingertips. Reverse. 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 Okay, move your hands back and forth again. Can you feel something on your hands? Yeah? Okay, you can, right? So for pranic healer especially, I want you to feel the energy. Let's start scanning, feeling the energy in your left hand. So put your left hand like this and slowly move your right hand, maybe about 2 feet above, and slowly move closer to your left hand. All right, until you feel something like pressure pushing your right hand up. Can you feel it? Okay, do it again. Do it a few times. You feel it? Right? A few more times. Okay, that's the energy of your hand chakra on your left hand. Now, slowly scan the diameter of the chakra. right? It's like it's like a funnel, surface, and then, right? Can you feel it? Yes? No? Okay. So that's the size, right? You have to keep in mind the height of the energy or the energy level and the diameter of the chakra. Are you ready? Put your left hand like this. No, the hand which you scan, right? Okay, just put it like that. Okay, are you ready? Close your eyes. You say, we have invoked a healing angel to activate the hand chakra further, make it highly energized, highly activated. We're grateful to the healing angel or angels. May they be blessed with divine love. May they be blessed with divine love, lots and lots of love. Thank you for your help. Thank you to the healing angel. Now, be aware of your left hand. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, good. Now, raise your right hand again. By the way, did you feel anything? Okay, now slowly move your hand, your scanning hand, your right hand. Well, some of you scan with the left, that's okay. Okay, what happened to the energy level of your, wow, this is like as big as a major chakra. You feel it? So that is one of the effects. Now, for a clairvoyant, they could perceive or see the presence of certain beings. They're called beings of light. Actually, there are many grades of devas or angelic beings. Right. So in healing, if you want to make your healing more powerful, okay, you have the technique of scanning, cleansing the aura, cleansing the chakras. You have the technique of energizing. But for example, when you're energizing, you could invoke for a healing angel. The healing angel, apart from you absorbing prana from the surrounding, from the sun, from the air, from the ground, the healing angel supplies you. So your healing is much, much more potent. All right. Now, if you are not knowledgeable of any technique, you are mostly prayerful, then the healing angel does most of the work. But at least you're prayerful. You have the intention of helping somebody. But if you are technically proficient and you combine it with prayer to the angels, the results are quite remarkable. Okay? So next, I was meditating with the Master Choa and the group. And during the meditation, I I became aware of my energy body, right? My energy body was like vibrating and it was intensifying. So suddenly my clairvoyancy got stimulated and I became aware that there were a lot of small beings made of, like they were made of luminous or translucent light. They were energy beings, right? And they were moving a lot. I saw my inner aura and the meridians as well as some of the chakras. And by the way, I saw some of the etheric or energetic organs. You have to understand that, for example, your physical heart is inside an etheric or energetic heart. The etheric heart is the mold or the pattern for the physical heart. It is what keeps the heart intact. But anyway, I saw many, many beings moving. So instead of meditating, I just kept observing them. And the impression I had was like, you have this building which is being repaired or constructed, and they were so busy moving, constant movement. Very, very fascinating. And then I felt and sensed and saw partially a big presence behind my body. All right. And after the meditation, I went to Master Choa and I asked him about what I saw. Master, I saw these beings. What are these things? He said, these are not things, these are what they call small devas. So apparently in the angelic hierarchy of beings, there are different degrees of development. Right? So in your etheric body, there are at least 4 types, because your etheric body has 4 types of energies. Now we will not go into that because you might get confused. And then the chakras are also made up of certain beings of light. And in every chakra, there is a presiding deva or being. In India, actually, their belief is that in every chakra, there is a deity. Master Cho said it's actually every chakra has what you call a deva or an angel. So remember when you do meditation on twin hearts, who's been doing meditation on twin hearts? Yeah. So in the meditation on loving kindness, Master Cho would say, concentrate on your heart chakra. Remember this? And then he would say, your heart chakra is an angel of love. So when I first heard this, like, wow, this is interesting. What is the meaning of this? And I did not notice this immediately. Um, and Master Cho would say words of love and sweetness to your heart or to this angel of love. And then the next thing he would say is be aware of the response. Yeah, you notice this? In the early days, I did not notice these things. I just played I press, and then. But later on, you begin to ask questions, who are these things? So he said, it is like this. When you are doing healing or meditation or other activities, and before doing those activities, he said, you invoked or prayed for the help of the angels. He said, there are certain groups of devas or angels who come near you. And then, for example, in the art of meditation, they begin to, Master Cho said, they begin to make sure that the flow of energy in your meridians is smooth and easy. If you have blockages or dirty energies in the meridians or the chakras, these devas take care of these things. You understand? So he said, they make sure that your meditation practice is safe for your bodies. So he said, that is why before we meditate, we always pray. Right? And then he said, after we meditate, we also say Thanksgiving prayer. Right. So I asked, but Master, what about the big one? He said that big angel, that is their big boss. So apparently, there are devas which are in charge of your etheric body, your different etheric organs, your meridians, your chakras. Now, one thing that I've learned is that they are greatly repulsed by pride. So if you think you're super knowledgeable, super skillful, right? Uh, and you are not prayerful, they don't come near you, they're just repelled. So Master Cho said they are really repelled by people who are delusional. They think they know and can do everything. But the devas, they're attracted by mainly the energy of love and humility. By the way, the aura, when the person is very proud, the aura produces a lot of uh, a kind of orange energy, which is repulsive to look at. Orange. So orange, if you study advanced pranic healing, orange has an expelling effect. So even the devas get expelled because of pride. Right? So it is like that. So you have to combine technique, and at the same time, you have to combine the technique with prayer. Right? You should not just be a spiritual scientist, but you should also be a mystic or devotee. Are you getting me? This is very important. Pastor Cho said, no matter how knowledgeable you are and how skillful you are, you always have limitations. We have things we do not know. There are things we cannot do. Right? So when we acknowledge this and we invoke the devas, then they come to our rescue. Something like that. All right. So um, let's focus on the etheric body. Are you ready? Okay. Close your eyes. You know what the etheric body is, right? The energy body, for those who are non-pranic healers, the etheric body surrounds the physical body and interpenetrates the physical body. And inside it, there are energetic organs which actually energize the physical organs. These energetic organs are energized by the chakras or energy centers. And prana is circulated through the meridians between the chakras, the etheric organs. Okay, are you ready? We have invoked the presence of a powerful and yet loving healing angel, also very intelligent, to please help us clean our etheric body, our meridians, our chakras, our etheric organs. Thank you. Now, be aware of a presence, a big presence behind you. The Deva works on your back heart chakra. Inside your back, a very small particle of light with a bright red glow, which is used to energize your etheric and your physical body. Okay, are you ready? Just raise your hands in blessing at your heart level. Then you say, may this Deva or angel be blessed. Be blessed with God's love. May the Deva be blessed. Lots and lots of love. Lots and lots of love. Lots and lots of love. So be it. Okay, now be aware of the back heart, right? A point on your upper back, exactly the opposite of the center of your chest. There's a chakra there. All right, as you observe your breath, be aware the healing angel is directing a bright light to your back heart chakra. It goes to the front heart. It goes to your etheric and your physical heart. It goes to your lungs and to your heart again. Then it spreads to all parts of your etheric and physical body. Inhale and exhale. Be aware of the head area, throat, shoulders, neck, arms. Inhale. Be aware of the back heart. Exhale. Be aware of your chest and abdomen and upper and lower back. Inhale. Exhale. Be aware of your hips, your legs, your feet. Be aware of the light going onto the back of your heart. Inhale. As you exhale, the light which the Deva or the angel gives spreads to the interiors of your physical body, the insides of your head, your throat and neck, the insides of your shoulders, your arms, your hands and fingers, the insides of your trunk, your hips, your legs, your feet. Now, be very, very receptive. You say, I am super receptive, or you say, my body is very, very, very grateful, very receptive. to the light, to the love, and to the goodness of the angel. Now, as you observe your breath, and as the energy of this powerful yet loving and very intelligent healing angel is directed to your back heart, be aware that there are smaller devas around your etheric body, and they are distributing the healing energy throughout the front, the sides, the back, throughout your arms, your legs, your feet. Okay, just be very receptive, maybe 2 to 3 more breathing cycles. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, if you have a specific problem, for example, a knee problem, be aware that these beings of light surround your knee, and then they bring the light deep inside your knee joint. If you have a back problem, the same. Be aware these smaller devas bring the light deep inside the affected part on your back. If you have a lung problem, be aware your energetic lungs are being surrounded by these smaller devas. Then they bring the light inside your lungs. If you have an intestinal problem, the same. Be aware of your intestines, your stomach. And then these devas move around the etheric counterpart of your intestines. And then they lovingly bring the light inside your intestines. So whichever part of your body is affected, be aware that first they surround the etheric physical organ with lots of love. And then they go inside the etheric physical organ. Lots and lots of love. So be it. So be it. So be it. Now, next part is from the insides of your physical and etheric body. Every time you exhale, the used up or dirty or diseased energies, be aware, are being carried out, being pulled out by these smaller devas. And then they are disposed of properly. Right? So starting with the head, every time you exhale, the dirty, diseased, used up energies are pulled out. They go to the periphery of your etheric body. Energies are extracted and disposed of properly. Thank you to the angels or the devas for your help. Thank you for keeping my body healthy. Now be aware of the insides of your throat and neck. If you have neck problem, inhale. As you exhale, the used up or dirty, diseased energies slowly are pulled out gently by the devas, disposed of properly. Right, now be aware of your shoulders, your arms. Right, inhale, be aware of the insides of your arms. As you exhale, let go. I'm letting go, letting go, letting go. Next, your spine, the insides of your trunk. Inhale. As you exhale, you say, I'm letting go. Let go of this pain or discomfort, dirty, diseased energies. Thank you to the healing angels for disposing of the energy properly. Now, be aware of your hips, your legs, your feet. The same, be aware of the insides of your hips, legs, and feet. Inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. I am grateful. So grateful to the devas. Thank you for removing the deceased energies and disposing of them properly. So be it. Next, be aware of the big angel, which is at the back of your body. All right, lots and lots of love is being directed to your back heart through this angel. Lots and lots of love. And the energy spreads throughout your energy body. And it goes to your physical heart. And the energy goes to your blood. And the blood carries the healing energy to all the cells of your body. Now inhale that loving, healing energy through your back heart. So grateful. Exhale, be aware of all parts of your body. We'll just do it 2 more times again. Thank you to the healing angel. Inhale. Back heart. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Okay, now place your hands together in front of your heart chakra like this in prayer. You say to the healing angel, thank you for the healing. And to the lesser angels, we're grateful. Thank you for your care and your love. Thank you. Okay, open your eyes. All right, you check your body, how your body feels. Are you all right? What was your experience like? I'm curious. So that's one form of healing, by the way. By the way, many people illustrate the devas or the angels as if they have wings, right? Okay, do you want to learn about this? So this is based on my personal observation. From time to time, while healing, my clairvoyancy would get stimulated. So there's a presence of healing angel. Now it is something like this. The heart chakra, normally when you see it, the heart chakra is like facing frontally like this. But when it is highly activated, it actually turns upwards. Right? So it is like this. In the case of the devas, we speak about them with great reverence and love and gratitude. When the healing energy descends through them, of course, it descends to their crown energy center, but it descends to the heart. What happens is their heart is like this. The energy is like a fountain, like this, like this. Do you get it? So when you look at it from the top, it's like there's this spring of water, which is actually different colors or energies depending on what the case is. And as the energy descends and it ascends, it's like a spring of water which is going up like this, like that. They work with the heart. So when you look at it from a distance, it looks like they have something like this. Now that's why artists, maybe, of course, people are clairvoyant, some of the artists, they illustrate angels with wings. But based on my experiences, they're not really wings. They're simply the energy of the heart like this. And during the healing, as the healing energy intensifies, the energy becomes much larger like this. It's very beautiful. I'm always excited and happy to describe it. My heart activates a lot. Wow. And sometimes I will get teary, like, this is amazing. Really amazing. All right, so now the chakras have different devas. For example, if I'm not mistaken, on your navel, there's a deva which is connected to food, right? It means that the food has energy when you ingest it, goes down, right? The deva on the navel chakra, the name is Annapurna. Anna means food. I think Purna means full, full of food. So you remember if you go to Nepal, there's this big mountain range. It's a beautiful mountain range. It's called Annapurna Range, right? But Master Cho said, actually, in your kitchen at home, there's a deva attached to your stove. This is part of pranic function. So in India, before they cook, they actually, do you do this in your home? No? They have like a small altar, they light an incense, or sometimes they put a flower, and then they give salutations to this deva, Annapurna. This deva has a representative in your navel, also called Annapurna. Now, the name or names do not matter, but what is important is you realize that your bodies are not really what you think it is, or your aura, your chakras. So, for example, the chakras have petals, right? The petals in the inner studies, the petals are made up of tiny, tiny beings of light. And then the center and the root of the chakra is another being. And then there's a presiding deity, something like that. So the heart is the same. For example, can you scan your heart chakra again? Before we go outside our body, let's experiment with the devas connected to our bodies. Right, are you ready? Okay, gently press the center of your chest. Okay, now imagine, or from the very, very center of your body, there's like a tube of light from the top of your head going down to your tailbone. It's a big meridian, right? And the chakras are attached to this meridian. The meridian is called Sushumna Nadi. So from the center of your body, there's this tube of light. And on the level of your chest, there's a chakra which extends outwards to the middle of your chest. That is your front heart chakra. All right, now the heart chakra rotates clockwise and counterclockwise. And the rotation depends on the descent of spiritual energy to the top of your head, down to the tailbone area, and then it reverses upwards. So it keeps going down, spiraling down and up. As the energy spirals down and up, the chakras rotate. Right? You're getting it? Now, be aware. I do not want you to visualize any form. I just want you to be aware that deep inside the root of your heart chakra, there's a presence of a being of light. Be aware of your breath. Now you say to the Deva or the angel of love in my heart chakra, I greet you with gratitude, respect, and love. Because of you, I learn to love. Because of you, I learn to be kind. Because of you, I learn to be patient. Thank you for cultivating in me the beautiful qualities which you have. Thank you to this Deva of love, to this being or presence of light. Salutations of deep, deep gratitude, respect, and love. Namaste. Okay, be aware of your breath and be aware of your heart chakra. Just sense the response of the chakra. Okay, I think that's good enough after 3 breathing cycles. Now, gently feel the energy of your front heart chakra. All right, the energy level and the activation of the chakra. Right, now don't overdo this because some people develop like heaviness on the chest. Did you feel anything on your chest? Anyone? Yeah? So it is something like that. So Master Cho said you have to say words of love and sweetness to the heart. So the deva or the being responds. Now, what is the meaning of this? The energy of the human soul is predominantly located 1 foot above the head, and then it has an aura. And then the soul creates the mental body, the emotional or astral body, and then it creates the etheric and the physical. Right. Now, it is something like this. Are you still interested about this or it's too esoteric? No, you're good? Anyway, you have no choice. Now, it is like this. Master Cho said the soul is, well, the higher soul is pure, but it is not perfect. Right? So, for example, some souls are undeveloped when it comes to love. They don't know how to love. They don't know how to care. They're not warm. They don't have tenderness or sweetness. You understand? Okay, so because of this, when the soul is incarnated in the body, the deva on the heart chakra teaches the soul how to love. So, in other words, the deva, right, releases certain energy. The heart chakra blooms. And when it blooms, the soul, which is really you become aware of the quality of love. So Master Cho said, without the Deva, the angel of love, you do not learn to love. So that is why he would say, be grateful to the angel of love, because without this, by the way, mothers, especially when, well, you have children, right? He said the heart chakras tend to expand a lot. So the deva on the heart is much more activated. Of course, some fathers are also activated, but mostly the mothers. Sorry to the fathers. Right? Now, the deva on the basic chakra is connected with your money, your possession. So it's connected to making sure that your body survives. Right? So there's certain practices to strengthen the energy on the basic. So are you good at scanning? So for example, if you want, there's a chakra on the tailbone which comes out like a funnel like this, right? And there's a deva there. So this deva, when you become lazy, when you delay or procrastinate, the deva will give you some sort of like a signal. It's like, hey, you're supposed to get things done. And so if the deva is powerful, then okay, I'll do it now. But if the soul is not responsive, then the soul tends to delay what needs to be done. You are the soul. Do you understand? So Master Cho said you need to learn to cooperate or co-function with the deva because the devas give you certain qualities. You better learn how to cooperate with them. By the way, you also need to learn later on to regulate the deva in the chakras. This is very important. For example, your basic chakra deva, in times of lack of food, all right, what will happen is the deva will force you to take food to make sure your body survives. So if you do not regulate that, you might do something terrible, like you might steal. Instead of working hard properly, you might just end up stealing. You understand? Now, for example, your heart chakra is very, very activated. Now, the tendency is, well, you will fall in love with everyone. So Master Cho said you have to regulate your heart. Now, for example, you love your child a lot, right? The deva on the heart is very, very strong. But if you overuse it, that is not good, right? The person actually gets harmed. So Master Cho said you have to learn to regulate the deva of the heart. Is it clear? You understand? Now, the deva of the solar plexus is connected to courage. It encourages you to fight for your virtues, your principles, what you believe is right. Now, excessive energy of this leads to sometimes anger, impatience. So the soul, as it develops, learns to regulate the different angelic beings in the chakras. Now, this is called character building. Are you still with me, or I've lost you? It's good to say, look, this is not right. So you can object. I don't believe in that. No, that is not good for me. That is solar plexus. The deva encourages you to stand up for yourself. But if you overdo it, you might end up very, very, like, very angry or irritated, fighting with everyone. So you have to regulate the different chakras or the different devas. It's like, okay, I think that is sufficient. I need now to use my heart deva. Control the solar plexus. Something like that. Is it clear? The chakras are very, very interesting. For example, your sex chakra has a deva. Now, this deva is like this. It's connected to the survival of the human race. Right. Now, it is like this. The deva on the sex chakra is very, very protective of the physical body, as well as the deva on the basic. So there's a difficult situation right now because a lot of physical bodies are being destroyed in the case of wars or conflicts. So the sex chakra devas are, you see, it is like this, just to give you an idea. When the plants, is this a real, okay, they're devas. One time I was meditating in I think this was Mount Shasta in Northern California. I was meditating in the mountain. And while meditating, I remember the energy flowing through my aura was very, very blissful. And it was so pleasant. And then my consciousness expanded and I became aware of a certain part of the mountain. And I became aware of very, very gentle vibrations around me. Okay, so anyway, I thought it was the wind or the breeze. Okay, because there were small plants, right? Flowers and so on. So what I did was I opened my eyes, and when I opened my eyes, surprisingly, my clairvoyant faculty got activated. I don't always see things, right? But during that morning, I saw that the plants, the shrubs, the trees, and the small grass and flowers, they had beings of different sizes. Most of them were like this. And again, they look luminous or translucent. And they were not moving much as individuals, but they were like moving like a wave. They were moving like this on the grass, the carpet. It's amazing. I was looking, it's like, wow. They were predominantly luminous green. at least the ones that I saw, with some gold. And I noticed that they were absorbing gold from the sun. Then they have green. And then at the bottom part, they have some yellow, red. It's amazing. Like, wow, amazing. And that's the word that I kept saying. This is amazing. So I did not dare move from the spot because I did not want my vision to disappear. Right? And they were doing something with the flowers like this, with the leaves and the roots of the plants, the grass. Anyway, I went back to my meditation practice. I closed my eyes. I kept meditating. And after some time, I felt a different kind of energy. The sensation was very warm, hot. I thought, wow, what is this? Like I'm sitting on something very warm and I'm surrounded by, I thought, well, maybe the sun is. But the heat was coming from the ground, not coming from the sun. Of course, there's the warmth of the sun. But anyway, when I opened my eyes, this time, what I saw was a carpet of red. All right? They were really red. And some did not look too friendly, but they were really red. It's like, wow, very fiery. So I was thinking, what is going on here? And then suddenly there was this flash of intuition. The mountain is a volcano. Because Mount Shasta is an extinct volcano. You know this? Like, oh, they're still red devas. They are connected to the fire. So they're different. I realized that there are different kinds of devas. And then later on, when I was exploring, for example, the rainforest, I noticed that the devas on the waters were of different quality. They were cooling. They're devas of the plants and trees. And I remember when I would wade through the water and the rainforest, for example, when I would wade through the stream, the clear water, I would see the lower part of my aura. Like there are some energies which were not very clean. They would just get pulled out very gently, though. Do you understand? So, based on these observations, I thought you could actually invoke these devas to help you. Right? Do you have rivers or streams? It's better to use the smaller streams, right? So what you do is this. This is the usual approach. Okay, are you interested? Okay. Now remember, they are repulsed a lot by arrogance or pride. That should be number one. Okay. So what you do is this. The first thing you would do is when you are in a beautiful place like this, you could be assured that there's an angelic devas, the assistants or the workers. Always remember that there's a big boss who manages the smaller ones. So the first thing that you would do is you would salute the deva of the place. I, the soul, salute the deva, the angel of the place. Then you raise your hand if there's nobody around. If there's somebody around, you just be quiet and then concentrate with lots and lots of love. And you have to keep saying it, lots and lots of love. They respond very well to the energy of love. Lots and lots of love, gratitude and respect, and lots of love. Right? So after you have given, the next thing that you would do is you could ask for a favor. Like you're bargaining. You could ask to the Deva, to the lesser Devas, if you could please clean my energy. Or if you have a painful ankle or knee or lower back, if you could please heal, clean this part of my body and heal. It's like that. Then you just sit quietly or, you know, in the water, or you sit next to the river, and then you have to be receptive. You have to be aware. So the way to be aware is just observe your breath, right? As you keep observing the breath, you might start to feel certain sensations, certain sensations. And then you will naturally become aware when the process is over. You will know, right? And then when it's over, of course, you have to check how your body feels. But after that, you have to give thanks. So grateful for the blessings. May you be blessed again with lots of gratitude, respect, and lots of love. Okay? So one time, Master Cha took me to the redwoods, in Northern California. You drive, I think from San Francisco, you drive for 6 to 8 hours, and you reach a place, you have the redwoods, right? So um, Master Cho said, Hector, your aura looks tired and depleted. Why don't you absorb some uh, energy from the redwoods? Okay, so I forgot this gratitude, respect, love thing. I was just so excited. I immediately went to the redwood and I hugged one big trees, right? And I just said, I want some energy because my body is low in energy. And I closed my eyes and my body felt like it became fat, like it expanded. And then the next thing I knew was I had painful ankles, painful knees, painful hips, painful back. And it's embarrassing to admit, but I had painful, you know, very painful. So painful that I began to go like this. So Master looked at me and said, "What's happened to you?" Master, I followed your instruction and my, my testicles became what? He said, did you give love to the Deva? And did you ask the Deva to give you only clean, healthy, excess energy? No, Master, you did not follow the instructions. So that's why he kept saying, follow simple instructions. So he said, go and clean yourself up. So I went to a secluded place. I had to sweep, remove the energy. So when I went back to him, he said, do you know that plants and trees and animals and even the members of the mineral kingdom, they also have used up or dirty energy? So he said, if you just absorb energy, you might absorb dirty ones. So he said, the first thing you have to do is what? You have to salute the being of the tree, the Deva in charge of the tree. Now, in some traditions, they call this angelic being nature spirit. It's actually the same. So you could call it nature spirit, but in India, we prefer to call it the Deva or Devata, right? It's the deity which presides over it protects the tree. And that's why they are angered when human beings unnecessarily destroy nature. There's actually a conflict between these devas and some human beings because human beings tend to indiscriminately cut trees, for example. In the old tradition, and you might be aware of this in your country, before you cut the land and cut trees or plants, you actually have to perform a ritual. You have to converse with the devas. If you could please permit us to cut here because we would like to build a house. Do you know this? Do you practice this now? When I was a boy, my dad was building a house, And the first part was they called on a shaman. And the shaman performed rituals and chanted prayers. So I asked my dad, what is he doing? I don't know, but it's supposed to make sure that the land has good luck. The being of the land is happy or at peace. It is like that in the old tradition. So you have to pray to the Deva, please. And this is funny because when we were growing up, for example, from time to time, I would go to live with my uncles in the rainforest. By the way, the rainforest is full of devas, right? So if you're going to pee, you cannot just suddenly pee on the woods. You have to say, in our tradition, we have to say to the devas, if you could please move to the side. I don't want to pee on you. You could please allow me to, like that, to release here, something like that. And then, so there were cases when suddenly the boy would just have a pain on certain parts. And then they would call on the local shaman. And then the shaman said, you peed on a nature spirit. Now we have to appease it. You have to apologize. It's like that. Have you heard of these kinds of stories? So when I was growing up, I was exposed to these things. So the problem is when I was a child, I did not really see them. It was only later on when I started training with Master Chua that my clairvoyancy got stimulated. Then I began to understand, well, those traditions have something, some basis, right? For example, you wash, right? And then you're going to throw the water. Before you throw water, you have to say, excuse me, nature spirits, please. Then you throw. In India, did you have this? Something like that. All right. So before you absorb, um, do you have a tree next to your house? Okay. Or do you have a favorite tree? Now, just like this. So when you walk through trees or plants, it is like this. Your you, the soul, and your bodies will have a natural affinity towards certain trees or plants. You will notice this. You just say, oh, this is my tree. It's not really your tree. It's just that the energy of your bodies, whether mental, astral, etheric, physical, have a certain affinity. All right. So when you find your tree, right, then you will tend to always go back to that tree. There's a relationship. Okay. In some rituals, they actually will bring like a flower to offer to the deva of the tree. But Master Cho said you don't need to do that. What do you bring? What you bring is you have to bring love to the deva, gratitude, respect to the deva. Okay, do you have a tree in mind? Like this tree I like, just outside this door. All right. In the apartment where I'm staying in Rome, there's a tree near the apartment, a big tree, which I like. Hopefully it likes me also. Okay, think of a tree. Are you ready? Now close your eyes. Now, using your hands on the level of your heart, think of the tree. Okay, fold your hands together. You say to the angelic being of the tree, the one who protects the tree. May God bless you. May you be blessed with lots and lots of love. I pay respect and gratitude to you. May there be peace, kindness, friendliness, and goodwill between us. I offer you, I give you deep, deep gratitude, lots and lots of respect, lots and lots of love. Okay, listen carefully. Be aware that your aura is gradually being linked or connected to the aura of the tree because of the energy of love. Now, think of the whole tree, the aura of the whole tree. You say, may this entire tree be blessed with lots and lots of love. Okay, so from the roots to the trunk, the branches, the leaves, maybe even the fruits and the flowers, may the tree be blessed. Lots and lots of love. Take a deep breath. Okay, now open your hands. Now you could either open your hands like this, facing the tree, or put your hands in a receiving pose, face up. Okay? Now you say to the Deva of the tree, the angel and angels of the tree, if you could please give my physical, my energy body, my emotional, my mental bodies clean, healthy, suitable energies to make my bodies healthier, happier. Please, thank you for giving me your excess or extra clean, healthy energies. Now, observe your breath and be aware now of the flow of energy coming to you. Gently bow your head. Be aware of the light or energy coming into your hands or your palms. When you inhale, and as you exhale, the energy is spreading throughout your aura and your whole body. Now, if you have a specific problem, like a neck problem or shoulder or knee problem, you say, thank you to the Deva, the angel, for your kindness, your love, your mercy, your generosity, your friendliness. Thank you for healing this part of my body. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now again, put your hands together in prayer. You say to the angel and angels of the tree, Devas, thank you for your love, your kindness, your blessings. Thank you. May you be blessed. Okay, open your eyes. Okay, what did you feel? Did you feel something? So you should experiment. Choose a tree. Now remember the pattern? You have to give, then you can receive. Are you still interested or? Now, one time, this is interesting. Master Cha invited me to join him. He asked me to join him in a hotel, in a very expensive hotel. He said, Hector, you come, you meet me, let's have a meeting. So I thought, oh, maybe higher teaching or who knows, maybe I'll be scolded. So I was a bit nervous. So anyway, I went inside this beautiful hotel. I was like, wow, it's a very opulent place. It was, and Master Cho was sitting there waiting for me. He was sitting, he was relaxed. He said, come, have a seat. And I was really out of place. I did not have much prosperity or abundance in my life back then. So Master Cho said, why don't you order something? So I look at the menu. I was like, wow, Master, it's very expensive here. He said, no, relax, relax. I'm paying for it. Yeah. So I want you to relax. And then this is what he said. This place has prosperity angels or devas. So the teaching started. So he said, I want you to relax, right? And he said, while you're here, I want you to, in your mind, because there are people from time to time passing by. He said, I want you to bless these devas or angels of prosperity or abundance. Bless them with lots and lots of love. Lots and lots of love. All right, now we will explain to you later. You may want to ask me, why do they respond very well to the energy of love? That's a very important question. Right, so anyway, I followed the instructions, the devas. By the way, there were several devas. They look like golden red. Golden red. Like, wow, these are amazing. Like, I think even Master Ko also was taken by Master Cho to the same hotel. So, and I think the clairvoyant he brought also saw the deva. Right? So anyway, respect, gratitude. Then you said, now you concentrate on your basic chakra, right? And you say to the prosperity devas or angels, thank you for blessing my life with prosperity, abundance, wealth, right? And may I utilize these blessings properly according to the purpose, the plan, the will of my higher soul. Do you think you can remember this? So you go to a prosperous hotel, or who knows, a very expensive place. Make sure you buy only simple items. But you have to buy something because the relationship with the deva is established, no? And then you have to give lots and lots of love and respect to the deva. Then after that, you ask the deva, hey, could you please bless me so that my financial material life is healed, so that my needs are met. Yeah, and please bless me so that I don't get blinded by greed. I will use these blessings to fulfill the purpose. You may want to write it down, the purpose, the plan, and the will of your higher soul. So it's like that. So you're concentrating on, by the way, your heart is activated, your crown. Then you are aware of the basic chakra. And then you're just enjoying your tea or your cookie or your biscuit, which is what I order. So you're just sitting there, you're relaxed. I in the beginning I was sitting very upright like this. Master Cho said, relax. So you had to lie down and learn to relax. Just relax. When you relax, then the devas are more comfortable with you. You understand? It's like when you're invited in somebody's home, when you relax, your host will become more comfortable with you. Don't be too uptight. Is it clear? Something like that. So I absorbed a lot. I think we stayed there for like 2 hours. You know, I think secretly I was like, I had to pretend that I'm calm and but something like that. So the deva on your basic chakra has a lot to do with money, wealth, prosperity, and your ability to meet your basic needs. You're still interested? So something like that. Huh? Now, the crown chakra has a deva. We're still just talking about the devas in relation to our body, right? But later on, we'll talk about other devas. Right? So the crown chakra, the deva on the crown, enables the soul to experience love for all beings. Right? And the deva here encourages the soul to do world service. So they call this goodwill, the will to serve, the will to do good. So Master Cho said, if you give to humanitarian causes, he said, the deva is happy, right? And what is the reward? The soul becomes conscious that all souls, all lives are one. So you might suddenly experience this oneness with all beings. So he said, this will gradually develop. So he said, one of the secrets for spiritual consciousness, an expansion of consciousness, he said, is to actually serve, help other people, be humanitarian or charitable. Because he said, the Deva on the crown becomes happy, and then it gives you, or it helps you experience unity consciousness, divine love. Is it clear? So if the teacher says the reason why you're not able to experience divine love or oneness is because you are not entitled yet. Master, how do I entitle myself? He said, make sure every month, even just for a small amount, he said, give to charitable causes, humanitarian causes. So he said, the Deva on the crown becomes happy and it will facilitate the inner experience. Is it clear? Now, not only that, but there are devas on the Agnya chakra and the throat. This is connected to higher, like philosophical or spiritual studies. So he said, if you want to understand very deep spiritual teachings, it's the same. You have to be charitable. You do not just read or study. Okay, you have to be charitable. And then he said, you read. But before you read, you want to learn about this part? Okay, scan your ashna. It's called, in India, they call this the Agnya chakra. It means command center. Anyway, scan the energy level of the chakra in between your eyebrows. Okay, ready? You say to the Deva of the chakra, we offer you gratitude, respect, and love. Because of you, we souls can understand. Because of you, we souls can develop our intelligence to a higher level. We give you tremendous gratitude, respect, and love. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your help. Thank you also for blessing us always with humility. Humility, humility, humility. Thank you. In full faith. Okay, scan your ashna again. If your arm, maybe it's not long enough. Okay, can you feel the energy? Now, after that, you will not become suddenly intelligent. You will still have to read books. You will still have to study. And you have to practice the virtue of what is called. So Master Cho would say, if you find to become very, just communicate to the Deva of the ashna on the throat. You have to practice what you call non-deception, non-distortion. So he would say, avoid unnecessary lies. So he said, if you avoid unnecessary distortions, then the ashna, the Deva on the ashna on the throat are happy. If you avoid lying, so the throat chakra is very clean. The Deva's energy is very bright. And he said, when you read a book, you could penetrate deeply into it. But he said, if you lie, it's almost like the Deva becomes uninterested with making you smarter because you're just going to misuse it, the knowledge. So what they do is this is the consequence. They will partially cloud your ashna and your aura. So when you look at something, you cannot really perceive the truth. So this is the karmic repercussion of lying. You understand? So I was sharing with the group today. It's like this, when he wants to test your virtue on honesty, he would give you a difficult book. Hector, you study this, yes, Master. So after one day or so, he would ask you, what is the summary of the book? Master, I'm not even done with it. He said, if you practice more self-honesty and honesty to others, he said, your mind will be so sharp that you could easily get the essence of the book. You understand? So he said, the deva on the ashna, on the throat, help you understand. By the way, this deva on the throat is connected to practical knowledge. The deva on the ashna is is connected to esoteric, spiritual knowledge. You need both. You need both. If you are excessive with the throat, you become, your consciousness, your mind becomes too materialistic. The ashna gives you spiritual knowledge. If you're too much on the ashna, less on the throat, then your knowledge is too abstract. You're spaced out. You understand? My tendency was like that, even now. So Master Cho used to tell me, you need to study practical things. Your throat is smaller than the ashna. He said, the deva on your throat is not happy. You know, like driving is a practical subject, right? Using computer or a pointer is a practical matter. I was not good with these things. I learned driving very late. Master Cho said, you better learn how to drive. You understand? You better learn how to use a computer that is connected to the throat. All right, so based on this, you know that your different chakras have beings, right, who are assisting you. The rocks have devas, the soil have devas. Certain places have powerful devas. They become either seat of power, they become, in some cases, because of the nature of the energy, they become spiritual centers, or they're connected to healing, or they may become powerful political centers or places of leadership, like that rock. So there's a ritual. When you go there, you have to first salute the being, and then you ask for blessings. Is it clear? Okay. Lakes, oceans, seas, waterfalls, you have devas. But remember, there might be a presiding deva, but there are smaller ones. So you have to give love to the big and to the small ones. All right, so let's talk about this. Why do they respond to love? Until what time is this lecture? You have to set limits, no? Okay. This is a very strange teaching. You see, according to the spiritual teachings, to the true religion, which is the source of all teachings, according to this body of teachings, the universe is made up essentially of two main energies. They have what you call pure spiritual energy and pure matter. So the Taoists or the Taoists, they call this as the Tao or the Tao, right? So for some people, they simply call this the Supreme Being or the Supreme God. The Supreme Being or the Supreme God, they say, is made up of pure spiritual energy and pure matter. They are always coexisting and co-equal. So the pure matter is called in the ancient tradition as Mother Matter or the Divine Mother. And the spiritual energy, they call this Father Spirit. Did you get it? That's the first teaching. So it is said that before the creation of the universe, these two were there was no creation, right? At, at the at the dawn of creation, mother and father spirit got attracted to one another. They woke up. Of course, these are all figures of speech, right? In other words, they say that father, by the way, the symbol of the Divine Mother is the circle or the zero in its dormant state. Zero means there was not. It simply so during that stage of formlessness, okay, they called the Divine Mother as the Virgin Mother because she was undifferentiated, pure. Okay? So anyway, the second symbol is like this. You have a circle with a dot. So this is the beginning of creation. Father Spirit symbolically impregnates her. Okay? And then in a certain area in space, this pure matter began to, by the way, we do not know the boundaries of space, huh? But she began, within a certain region, she began to spin or rotate. So according to an ancient book in India, the whole manifested universe is a big chakra or big wheel spinning in space. And then that area differentiated into 7 spheres. These are the 7 so-called cosmic planes. We will not go into that because some of you will get lost. But the idea is like this. The energy which binds the two is what you call divine love. Okay, so what does it do with humans and devas? Are you interested? Okay. The deva or angelic evolution belongs to the line of the Divine Mother. They're connected with creating forms, whether mineral form or plant form or animal form or human form and so on. There are other forms, right? When you say form, it simply means from a homogeneous substance, a certain shape is made. It's like, when you have a clay, you shape it into something. So the original clay, which is unshaped, that is like the Divine Mother. But the moment you shape it, you're giving it a form. For example, your energy body is actually taken from the etheric world, right? So when you look at the aura of the earth, there's the etheric energy field of the earth. When the soul incarnates, it releases a particle of light from itself downwards. This particle of light attracts etheric energies, and then they are shaped into a human form. And inside that, the physical body is built. But when the physical and the etheric bodies die or are destroyed, then the etheric particles again are returned to that reservoir. Again, formless or shapeless. It is returned to the Divine Mother. You getting it? Making some sense? Okay, now, the human being is very, very complicated. Very complicated, like Facebook. It's complicated. Okay, so anyway, so the idea is like this. The human line of evolution is connected to spiritual evolution. they belong to the Father Spirit aspect. The angels belong to the material evolution. They belong to the mother aspect. Now remember, they are co-equal and coexistent. Okay? So what binds them is love. So if you want to interact with devas, you cannot impress them with your knowledge. They're not attracted to that. What attracts them to you is when you cultivate the virtues of love, kindness, of generosity. So the moment, even if you don't know about the devas, Master Cho said, if you help a lot of people, right, you're generous, you're helpful, you don't know it, but you're surrounded by devas. They help you, they take care of you, they protect you, they guide you, they teach you. It's automatic. Why? Because you're practicing the virtue of love. Is it clear? Okay. So the human being is quite complex. So it is said that, I don't know if we're supposed to go to this part. Huh? Are you interested about these things? That it's defined words. And because when these things are taught intuitively, you will just see change. And then it might take you many, many years to put them into words. Now it is like this. Some people, because of their practices, they had been accused of worshipping, nature spirits or devas. Because if like if you offer something to the plants or trees, like, oh, you're worshipping the tree. Actually, they don't understand it. It simply means you're establishing a relationship with the being, taking care of the plant or the tree. The being like a sparkle, the spiritual part of the human being. Okay, so for this spiritual being to evolve, it extends its energy downwards. As it extends its energy downwards, there are 6 points of light goes down to the lower worlds. So three here, so the first thing is like this. The 3 lower jewels of this spark have to be developed. And the first jewel, they call this the red pearl, because when you look at it, it's a particle of light with a red glow. So this particle, for aeons of time, is actually stones, precious or semi-precious stones, right? Some of you, not all, but or rocks or stones. So in this mineral world, there are particles of light attached to what is known as the divine spirit of a human being. But the minerals or the stones or the rocks are actually made up of beings or devas. So that's part of the Divine Mother. Right? So through many, many aeons of time, the jewel is developed. After some time, the second jewel is developed. This is connected to the plant kingdom. So the human spirit or jewel develops the next lower one. So in plants and trees, there are 2 points of light which are evolving. One is connected to the physical tree. The second part to the water element and that is connected to emotional energy. Are you still with me? Okay. So that's why in the ancient tradition, water is the symbol for emotional energy because it's fluid. Right? So plants, deva of the plants, they they have the green thumb, means they're good with plants. So actually, for example, this deva has an aura. So if you scan, okay, there's a certain energy field. The same, this is real, but it's been cut. Okay, the rose has strong energy. Okay, so the way to communicate is this. You concentrate on your heart, your crown, then you just bless with love. Lots and lots of love. So if you scan the energy again, it's much, much stronger. Then you can say, could you please activate my heart chakra? Then you smell it. So the idea is when you smell, you're actually inhaling the energy, and then it goes to your heart, then your heart activates. Now, unfortunately, this knowledge had been misused or has been misused. So if you want to activate somebody's heart, you get a pink rose. It's better to give somebody a plant, it's better not to cut right? Because the rose plant contains a lot of pink. It's not just the flower, but also the branch and the roots has a lot of pink. In fact, it is the root which develops or generates the pink energy, which is good for your heart. Right? So next time you give somebody rose, better to buy a plant. Right? So you bless the deva of the plant, and then you say, please activate my heart chakra or the heart chakra of this person. So when you give it, listen carefully. When you give it, the person receives it. The deva of the rose interacts with the deva of the heart chakra of the person. It's almost like they have an affinity. They recognize each other. Interesting? Okay. Now, some people, they cannot afford to travel with the plant. So what they do is they have a rose oil extract. That is the essence of the plant. It activates the heart. But still, before you use the rose oil, you have to say to the deva, who is in charge of the entire rose family, or where this oil was taken, we give you gratitude, respect, and love. It's like that. Then you ask, what do you want? Do you want a happy heart? Do you want harmony? Whatever you want, you ask, could you please bless my heart or the heart of my family members so we have love or harmony? It's like that. Then you just put it, you could have a diffuser, right? There's a deva attached to the oil, right? Which facilitates the release. Well, when the energy is released, the energy, when you observe it clairvoyantly, there are very, very small devas which travel to the heart chakras of your family members. So they interact, and the heart chakra blooms. All right. Now, just be careful not to misuse the teaching. Don't say, this person will fall in love with me madly. Don't do that. Don't do that. It can create problems. Just say, thank you for blessing the heart of the person. May the person be happy, be kind, be loving. That's it. Is it clear? Are you still interested? What time did we start? Okay, so we have 5 minutes. I told you it takes many, many years to study the Deva kingdom, right? For example, if you zoom out, there's a Deva in charge of the entire, what you call, plant kingdom. Okay? And then this great Deva has many, many assistants. By the way, this Deva is called an Arch Deva or a great angel. Now, it is like this. This big Devas, if you compare your development to them, our development is very small. So because of that, they do not really, when they look at us, it's almost like we are not at their level. You understand? But you could still pray to them, to the Deva and Devas in charge of the entire plant kingdom. You have to understand that they have their disciples also. They're in charge of certain families of trees, certain families of plants, and within that, flowers, and so on and so on. They have subdivisions, hierarchy. In the human kingdom, it's the same. You have great spiritual teachers, and then lesser teachers, disciples, lesser disciples, and then down to the ordinary humans. So a great teacher, right, the Lord Christ, is actually in charge of teaching human souls, but also the angels. So this great teacher can interact with the archangels, but for us, we are not at that level. So that's why we started just, okay, can you communicate with the plants, the trees? Because that's our level. Is it clear? Something like that. So the topic is quite complex. All right. So when the sperm cell fertilizes the egg, right? Part of the soul energy is brought inside the womb of the mother. Permanent seed. It's a particle of light which is released by the soul in the womb in pregnancy. Immediately, the heart chakra appears and the Deva of love appears. Right? Now, this Deva of love will begin to attract or gather etheric particles from the surrounding and also from the mother. The mother is the one who forms the body, right? The form. So she builds it with the help of an angel. Do you understand? And the angel works with love because the heart chakra is being utilized. So this angel of love grows the physical and the energy body. But through the mother and through the surrounding etheric energy particles, the etheric body is being built. And slowly the different organs are built. So that's why I told you the topic is quite vast. Okay? And then next is this. The different chakras, it's like the angel of love in the heart calls them, hey, different angels who will inhabit the different chakras. Your houses are now being built. You now come. So they come. Okay, you're in charge of survival of the body. You're in charge of making sure the body propagates. So, in charge of food, in charge of emotional development, you're in charge of and mental, in charge of spiritual. So these are the devas. But there's a deva who presides. So this deva who is in charge of your physical body protects your body for the rest of your lifetime. However, if you, the soul, violate, the deva is helpless to protect you. There's a karmic repercussion. So karma overwhelms the deva. It's like, I'm sorry, I cannot protect you. You did something terrible. I cannot. So because of this, the soul learns, if I do that, I may have a protecting deva, but it cannot protect me. I need to cultivate the virtue of loving kindness and non-injury, harmlessness. Is it clear? It is not solely the responsibility of the angel or the deva. You, the soul, you have to develop. So they have what you call material evolution and spiritual evolution. They go hand in hand. Is it clear? Otherwise, like, okay, let the devas take care of everything in our lives. It's not like that. Okay, so next, on the second stage of pregnancy, the soul activates the particle of light, which was evolved by the plant or a mineral or the trees. Right? By the way, plants and trees have feelings or emotions. I mean, they could sense feelings or emotions. Mineral kingdom, no. They are not as sensitive as plants. So anyway, this astral permanency, the deva begins to collect astral energy from the mother and the astral world. So it builds what is known as the astral body. That's another deva, right? If you develop your heart, this deva simultaneously evolves with you, the soul. It's not only the soul which evolves, it is also the deva. It's a dual evolution, right? And always they have to be balanced like the yin and the yang. Spiritual evolution, material evolution. They go hand in hand. Now, the devas, just for your information, work with what is called the Kundalini energy. The Kundalini is, for some of you have heard of this, but the Kundalini is mysterious. It is connected to the energy of the Divine Mother, the energy of matter. Spiritual energy is different from Kundalini. It is the energy of Father Spirit. When they interact, form is created. There is manifestation. Right? Anyway, the mental manner. When a certain stage in evolution is reached, the soul appears. So what is this? Our last topic for the session, right? The divine spark or spiritual spark, which is supposed to be part of the spiritual side of God, right? Takes possession of the three lower seeds. And what you call the body of the soul appears. This, in some books, they call this the causal body. All right, so what is this about? There are certain great devas. They're called solar angels. I don't know if you can comprehend this. They supposedly passed through the human evolution in the previous solar system. And when they came into this present solar system, from these great solar angels, just like the mother, from their own energy field, they created the bodies of the souls. So what is this bodies of souls? They're called causal body. So after every incarnation, using your physical, astral, mental bodies, you extract life experiences and you store this information. You know, it's like you upload them into a container. So the soul evolves through many incarnations. So anyway, this body is made up of a material or energetic substance from, they're called in India as the spiritual parents. The term used is Prajapatis. I'm sure you will not understand them. But Prajapatis means spiritual ancestors or parents. They gave the divine sparks a temporary body so that the sparks, which are spiritual beings, can evolve. Right? But this body is still made up of devas, or highly developed angels. All right. So at the end of the human evolution, inside this causal body, there's a jewel which is extracted by the divine spark or the human spirit. And by the way, this body, which is made up of devas, all right, this body is finally released at the end of your career or your spiritual development. So you, the spiritual spark, return to where you came from. But the devas, whom you had utilized for your entire career of development, they go back to where they came from or come from. They return to the Divine Mother. But you, the spark, you return to the Divine Father. But in your career, in your development, these two always are fused together. So the human being is the most mysterious. It's both spirit and devas. It's strange, huh? And difficult to understand. So good luck with your studies. But also make sure you experiment. Everything around you is alive. Everything, according to the ancient religions, everything has spiritual life embedded in matter or form. The spirit and the Divine Mother coexist. They're always one. Right? So in the earlier stages of human development, we identify with the form or material aspect. This is always the case. Remember your children? Who are they more attached to in the beginning? Always the mother, because the mother nurtured them. You not notice this, the fathers? It is like that. So the fathers get jealous. How come our child is attached to you? Well, through my physical devas, astral, etheric, mental devas, the bodies were produced. So what do you expect? You contributed a little. You have to wait later. They will also know the Father. So this is the reason why in the ancient traditions, they gave the child the father's name. It's actually highly symbolical. What is the meaning of this? The soul in the beginning is very, very much identified with the bodies or the material or mother aspect. So that's why the souls think that they are the body or they are the emotions or the mind. But later on in the spiritual path, right, the spiritual aspect will begin to discern. It's like, I am not the body. In other words, I am not the physical deva. I am not the emotions. I am not the mind. Who am I? I am the soul. But who is the soul? Wow, this is complicated. I do not know this. So the spiritual being is just beginning to dissociate from the mother aspect. But without the mother, it will not know itself. So the mother nurtures the spiritual being for a long, long time. So the father's name is given to symbolize that do you have your father's name now? In your tradition also? You're supposed to seek your spiritual side. Because for so long, you have been so identified with your material or mother aspect, and you have forgotten your spiritual aspect. It's just a reminder, hey, seek also the Father. So later on in life, this is a message for parents and children. Later on in life, everybody seeks to understand the Father. Like me, I was so attached to my mother. all my life. It's only later on when I think I better understand also my father. I spent time with my father. I had to heal my relationship with him. It's just a symbol of an inner happening or reality. The spiritual aspect comes into development only later. So the Devas, they belong to the mother. You have to honor. In the culture where I grew up in, we were encouraged to put the mother's name. You have your first or given name, right? Then you have your mother's name, and then you have your father's name. Because in the culture, they have this belief that you have to know both mother, mater, and father spirit, because you have to balance them. Interesting? Okay, so there are books on devas, but what we have given you, even though it's very difficult, is a synthesis of many, many books. It will take you many, many years to study. All right, so who are you? You're a spiritual being housed by devas. And your different bodies are related to the devas outside. The rocks, the rivers, the earth, the soil of the earth, the wind. They say that the wind, the air, is full of devas. Very subtle. Your bodies are connected to the plants and trees. For example, there's a certain part of your body which is worn out. You excrete them out. But you have to replace them. So you eat devas. You replace. You understand? It is like that. You inhale devas, you exhale devas. You eat them, you release the carrying devas. Just like that. So in the ancient religions or traditions, they believe that everything has life and devas.
Devas, are they eternal?
I'm sorry?
Are those devas eternal or they die with the flower?
The form indestructible. Because the spiritual energy and the energy of matter are indestructible.
Why does it go after, for example, a flower dies?
The materials which make the flowers, they are reabsorbed by the great mother, the earth. They return to the reservoir, which is the great Deva. Because the Mother Earth is a great Deva. Is it clear? So, for example, in the Native American tradition, that's what they practiced. They believe that everything in the universe is alive, has consciousness, both spiritual energy and material energy. All right, this is a lot of thoughts for you to consider. You did not practice now. I don't know what to tell these people. So, shall we? So this is the prayer. Put your hands together. You say to the Supreme One. Then you say to the Divine Mother, Divine Father, or Divine Father, Divine Mother. Thank you for your blessings. May we slowly get to know you more. May you reveal your mysteries, your secrets to us. May we be faithful in our search. May we purify our consciousnesses and our bodies so we can perceive you and your teachings, your wisdom, your light, your all-encompassing love, and your purpose, your plan, your will. Thank you for blessing us. Then you say to the hierarchy of the Deva evolution from the archangels to the holy angels to the angels to the lesser angels or devas. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then you see to the hierarchy of spiritual evolving lives, to the great, great spiritual teachers, and especially to the world teacher whom Christians call the Lord Christ, the Buddhists call the Maitreya. Thank you for this great, great teacher, the teachers of angels and of human beings. Thank you for stimulating our spiritual interest, humility, with loving kindness, non-violence. Thank you for guiding us always. Thank you. Now be aware behind you, you say, to the protecting angel, thank you for protecting our minds, our emotions, our physical bodies. Thank you for keeping us safe as we go back home. Thank you for the blessings in full faith. Oh. You reverberate the Om throughout the earth to all the lives, the Deva and spiritual lives. Oh. Salutations of deep gratitude, respect, and love. Namaste. To all of you, be aware of the presence of God deep in your heart chakra. We salute the divinity in you with deep, deep gratitude, respect, and love. Be aware of that presence in your heart. You say, I salute the divinity in me, hidden in my bodies, being nurtured by the Devas. Salutations. Namaste. All right, everyone. Enjoy the... You have now become disciples of Confucius. Namaste. Now, esoteric studies is always like that. You will understand some things, but in general, many things are difficult. So always be humble. Yes.